Hello, you're watching the Times of India. I'm Aditi Prasad, and today we are going to be talking about the developing situation in our neighborhood and the Pakistan Taliban clash that is erupting on the borders. As the tensions are exploding, a critical question, however, is arising. Is this conflict perhaps consolidating Field Marshal Asim Munir's authority? Is the civilian government led by Shehbaz Sharif being pushed further to the margins? In Pakistan, history has shown, friends, that war often strengthens the army's grip. But this is a risky gamble. Afghanistan is unstable. The Taliban will not back down easily. Economic pressures are mounting for Pakistan. Could this escalation backfire? And what does this mean for India and the wider region? Is South Asia heading into a deeper instability? And to answer all these questions and to decode the power struggle and the regional fallout, we are joined by Zulqernain Tahir from the Dawn in Lahore and former Indian diplomat Prabhu Dayal, who's been posted in Karachi for almost 3 years during his tenure. We have him here with us. And I'm going to start first with what's happening within Pakistan. What is the establishment? Because the latest that we are receiving on hearing is that the Pakistan Army spokesperson Ahmad Sharif Chaudhry has said that Islamabad believes Indian involvement lies behind this recent terrorist incident in Pakistan. He's alleged that militant groups operating from Afghan territory under the Taliban administration. So he's blamed everybody else and India for all of this. I'm going to bring you in at this point, Mr. Tahir, from the Dawn in Lahore. Why is Pakistan blaming India for all this right now?
Yes, well, thank you for having me. Pakistan is not blaming India this time around. It's been blaming it for quite some time. Already, Pakistan renamed the TTP, Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan, as Fitnatul Khawarij, and backed by, they're saying, Fitnatul Hindustan. So that the term they coined with India.
But
And
naam change, how does it matter to change the name? The fact is that the Tehreek-e-Taliban is a product of the Pakistan army, if we just go back into the history a little bit.
Yes, you see, if we see the stance of the incumbent military leadership, it is blaming its predecessor, General Bajwa, Faz Hamid, ISI chief, former General Bajwa, former Qamar Javed Bajwa, former army chief, and Imran Khan, that they in fact brought these TTP guys in Pakistan. Their number is ranging between 7,000 to 10,000. They got them settled here, and later on they turned against Pakistan or not following what Pakistan was saying, and eventually they started bombing in Pakistan. Pakistan asking Taliban regime in Afghanistan to nail them, stop them, or not allow them to use their soil. And so, but Afghan Taliban government not doing enough. Eventually, this happened or this happening, and Pakistan military leadership as well as the government believe that India is fully backing those elements. In fact.
But again, I just come back to the question that I asked you, and I'm going to bring in Prabhu Dayal, the former ambassador from India to Pakistan. Mr. Dayal, again, without proof, without providing any proof, just saying that, India is backing all the terrorist activities on Pakistani soil, and this is a homegrown problem. They are the ones who've developed, shaped, armed the Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan. So what's happening?
Well, first of all, thanks for having me on your show. Let me state categorically that New Delhi has previously dismissed similar allegations, including claims that the Taliban is an Indian proxy, as baseless and unfounded. And India has also rejected Pakistani accusations of India's involvement as an attempt by Pakistan to externalize its internal failures. Of course, India has reaffirmed its friendship with Afghanistan, but it has also very categorically denied any sort of involvement. Now, let me mention that there are some core drivers of tension between Pakistan and Afghanistan. And the foremost amongst this is relating to the TTP. The TTP is attacking Pakistan from across the border in Afghanistan. And these attacks have intensified. So, Islamabad maintains that the TTP operates from safe havens in Afghanistan with the tacit support of the Afghan Taliban. And of course, Kabul denies this. But more than this, there is also the dispute relating to the Durand Line. The 2,640-kilometer drawn by the British as a border remains unrecognized by the Taliban, who view it as an artificial colonial era borderline. So Pakistan's efforts to fence the border have triggered numerous fatal skirmishes. Then, there is the third issue relating to refugee deportations. Pakistan's plans to repatriate nearly 3 million Afghans, from what I read in the papers, has become a major humanitarian and political flashpoint. Pakistan's decision has caused significant friction with Kabul, and Kabul has accused Islamabad of using refugees as political blackmail. Now, on top of this, the fourth factor has come in, and that is India's growing friendship with Afghanistan. And there has been the upgrading of India's mission in Kabul to an embassy status. So Pakistan views this as a negative factor. Pakistan always wanted the Taliban to be under its tutelage, under its sort of diktat. But Kabul is pursuing its own foreign policy and has strengthened relations with India. But as a result, Pakistan has begun to view the Taliban negatively and has started criticizing it as being India's proxy. So these are some of the factors, but the real fact is that Pakistan has to work out a peaceful solution with the Afghans. And some countries like Iran and Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Turkey have offered to mediate and bring about a solution. We hope that this happens and that this war does not escalate.
All right, let me just bring back, in reference to what Mr. Dayal is telling us, Mr. Tahir. It's been a habit, and we've seen this, and the Indian government has said it in as many words that you first sponsor terror and to Pakistan, and then you blame your neighbors for that terrorism. And proof of Pakistan's aiding and abetting terror hubs was for all to see after India's strike on the terror hubs deep inside Pakistan, actually several kilometers away from the Pakistani military headquarters. There were strikes on the terror hubs in Pakistan, within Pakistan. So if the proof is there for everyone to see, why is it so difficult for Pakistan then to continue, or why is it so easy for Pakistan to just turn around and continue blaming India for everything that goes wrong?
You see, it is said there is no permanent friend, no permanent enemy. This is the perfect case of Afghanistan at the moment. I take you back 27 years. Place is Kandahar, 1999. Year is 1999. Indian plane IC-814 was hijacked and taken to Kandahar. And then what was their demand? To free Jaish-e-Mohammed chief Maulana Masood Azhar. Delhi had to oblige, and he got free. And Taliban regime was there by that time. And you see, and fast forward now is 2026, Pakistan attacking Kandahar, bombing Taliban headquarters over there. Things have changed dramatically. Even you see when America pulled out, August 2021, General Faz Hamid, then ISI chief, was spotted over there in Kabul. He was having a cup of tea or cup of coffee and saying everything gonna be fine. Pakistan was appeared to be quite happy that time that Taliban uh, toppled that Ghani government and sending America packing. And now Pakistan will have this own people of liking over there. But you see, things turn around dramatically. And later on, yes, as I said, uh, uh, Pakistan was blamed, or rather, that incumbent government of sorry, that then government of Imran Khan was accused of giving them shelter in Pakistan, the TTP 7,000 to 10,000 people, and later on, uh, Taliban falling out with Pakistan government, Pakistan military, and they started bombing here. And now those elements, or Taliban government even found India is friend and Pakistan is enemy, and you see the whole scenario in that frame of things.
Absolutely. You see, it's yeah. As the more things change, they have actually changed from then Kandahar to now Kandahar. And that Maulana Masood Azhar, who was freed, eventually went ahead and started living in Bahawalpur in Pakistan. So he was last found there. So what I'm just trying to say is that there is a history of Pakistan aiding and abetting terrorists. Now, you want to say that aiding and abetting, that it was then government of Pakistan, but then regimes in Pakistan have changed. But Pakistani army has remained constant. They have gone ahead and aided and abetted terrorists from several, several names are out there, out in the open. However, now when it comes to those terrorists are coming back to bite them in their own house, they are shifting the blame to India. How are you viewing this tactic by the Pakistani army?
Uh, Again, the your enemy is is the friend of your enemy. That is the thing is here. Uh,
Okay, so you're not
like,
denying that this is the tactic that is being deployed by Pakistan at this point
no,
to
no, no.
explain away the current situation.
Because you see, we just had Pakistan had a armed conflict with India a few months back in May last year, and 4-day conflict. Pakistan claiming victory, India claiming victory. So both media
They know.
sticking to that point. But the thing is this: after that, you see Pakistan's western border with Afghanistan, became hot, and even those elements in Pakistan calling that the thing Pakistan need to talk to them. Even Pakistan uh, had meeting with Afghan regime in Qatar, in Istanbul, but to no avail. Eventually, this happened. This is a kind of full-fledged war. Although Afghanistan is no match in term of military might, Pakistan has, or Afghanistan has uh, no air force. So the thing is this: Pakistan believe in this. Pakistan government believes in this, that it has the backing. Now Afghanistan has the backing of Israel and India, and together now they're finding it the best opportunity, right, to unleash Afghanistan against Pakistan.
Okay, so they are unleashing Afghanistan against Pakistan, as we've seen what's happening around the Durand line across the borders, taking over of Pakistani military posts. Some were taken over a couple of months ago, another 19 were taken over yesterday. In return, Pakistan has bombed Kabul, Kandahar, another location. Is this Field Marshal Asim Munir's way of consolidating absolute control within Pakistan? And I say this because of the history of regime changes uh, between the army and the civilian government that has been part of Pakistan's folklore now.
Yes, that is the obvious factor here. Is always military in control, is in charge. So that is the obvious thing here. So uh, and military establishment calling the shot in any type of this conflict and other major decision, the military takes it. The civilian government doesn't have much at his hands. If we
Right.
talk about the
So,
Shehbaz Sharif government, already it's been I mean before everyone that the last election, uh, this government, Shehbaz Sharif government is in Shehbaz Sharif's party is given the government.
right. Let me just bring you in here, sir. This particular aspect of the civilian of Munir, if he emerges stronger after this entire, whatever, how this plays out over the next days, weeks, we will know how much this is Afghanistan, Pakistan situation escalates. But if Asim Munir emerges stronger, what happens within Pakistan? Are we looking at another overthrow of the civilian government, or is this at par as whatever as our friend here from the Dawn tells us that that's the way it is already?
Well, Aditi, before I answer this question, let me say that you had hit the nail on the head when you pointed out that Pakistan's breeding of terrorism is hitting it back. Let us recall that Hillary Clinton, when she had visited Pakistan as US Secretary of State, had told them that if you breed snakes in your backyard, they're going to bite you. And the TTP is an outcome of Pakistan's hobnobbing with terrorism. And it is being hit back in a big way. Now, let me also mention that as regards your present query, whether the civilian government can be toppled, and Mr. Tahir said that that is in any case the situation. The fact is, Pakistan is not a democracy. Pakistan is a deep state. And in a deep state, there is a factor which controls and runs things from behind. And that is the Pakistan army. The civilian government only lasts there till such time as it enjoys the happiness and the pleasure of the army. Look at Imran Khan. He was so popular and he was getting along with the armed forces. But the moment he burnt his bridges with them, look at what happened. He's in jail. And there is a lot of sympathy for Imran Khan in India, I must say. I have seen him in action as a cricketer, and Pakistanis loved him. He was a hero. And we don't like to see such a great international sportsman in jail. But that is an outcome of the army's total rule over Pakistan. If you that's what happened to Imran Khan. So Pakistan is not a democracy in any case. Now, let me also mention that there is internal unrest in Pakistan. One place where there is a lot of unrest is Balochistan, and another one is the Khyber Pakhtunkhwa province. There are lots of serious dissensions. People want to break away. And these uprisings are increasing. The army is cracking down, and that is making the army more unpopular. So, this is part of the whole scenario. When you crack down on minorities, then they try to hit back. You crack down more, the dissensions widen. So, I don't see any easy way out. I think that the situation in Balochistan and Khyber Pakhtunkhwa might escalate, the tensions might escalate, and as a result, because both the Baloch Liberation Front and the TTP have some connections with Afghanistan, they take sanctuary there. Therefore, the tensions between Pakistan and Afghanistan are also likely to increase. I hope that the mediation efforts of Iran succeed and the other regional players, because nobody wants this conflict to escalate. Let me also mention that India's role is totally misunderstood by Pakistan. India is a big donor for Afghanistan. The Afghan people are in great distress, and India has had a history of ties with them going back before partition. So India has donated recently 40,000 tons of wheat, 60 million vaccine doses. India has invested more than $3 billion in over 500 projects in Afghanistan. And it has continued to do so during the Taliban regime. So the fact is, India's policy is people oriented. It wants to do good for the people. But the Pakistanis think that, look, India is abetting terrorism against Pakistan, which
Sir,
is totally wrong.
your visual has been gone for the last 1 minute almost, but I've let you speak because your audio was fantastic. I can't see you, but I can hear you, and we've of course got your message loud and clear that India, of course, is helping develop Afghanistan because Afghanistan is already in such a Afghan people are in such deep distress. India is actually donating to Pakistan, Afghanistan, and also not just donating wheat that you pointed out, but also helping build infrastructure in Pakistan. It's not about militarily helping them to topple or take over border Pakistan military posts. How will that help India in any case? But let me just come back to you, Mr. Tahir, and the question is very simple. The question is this: that Pakistan is repeatedly blamed either India or Afghanistan for the militancy inside its own country. Khwaja Asif has even said that Pakistan is ready for a two-front war with India and Afghanistan. Is Pakistan really militarily ready for this two-front war that they're really talking about, or is it just talk in the air?
Yes, this is not possible. In fact, I mean, on the western border, Pakistan fighting Afghanistan, and on the eastern border against India, this is not possible. It's just morale boosting kind of statement. The thing is quite obvious. I mean, Pakistan had armed conflict with India last May, and don't see much chances in near future that such a conflict again happening. But the thing that stays here seems like permanent. That is the Afghanistan issue. And till now, although there are reports coming in, Turkey are asking Pakistan and Afghanistan to de-escalate, but the role Pakistan expecting from Turkey, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and UAE to play in this to resolve this conflict with Afghanistan, that doesn't seem happening at the moment. Uh, mm, uh, there
Fine.
may be
So you,
multiple things, because the one thing is clear that Afghan regime that is not committing this thing that they're gonna take action against TTP. They're not committing that they gonna provide safe havens and sanctuaries to TTP out there. So Pakistan is and the Pakistan government is quite wary of it, or even giving a very strong message that it is ready to take this conflict longer till eliminating the TTP from Pakistan, or at least secure that border, which is not that easier. It's such a huge border with Afghanistan. So on the other side, if from the point of view of the TTP, and but for them it's easier to infiltrate in Pakistan and do the bombing, mean terror attack, one terror attack, isolated terror attack in Islamabad, maybe just like two terror attack happened recently in Islamabad. So Pakistan is very much concerned about this thing. Unless Afghan Taliban government uh, gives its words to Pakistan that okay, well, sit together and we'll try our best not to let the TTP infiltrate in Pakistan and commit the terror attacks. Then I think there's going to be a ceasefire. Otherwise, the low-lying war will continue.
yeah, what is the end game? What is Asim Munir's end game with with these latest strikes? What is the
Yeah,
Pakistan army chief trying to achieve with these latest strikes?
yeah, you see, before that there was not that much. Never been happened since started off early 80s. I mean, Pakistan helped Afghanistan topple. I mean, sent back Russians with the help of Americans and so on and so forth. And 4 million Afghans came to Pakistan as refugees and so on and so forth. This is the first time such an open kind of war taking place. So is eventually uh, eventually, it would not be easier to say about what would be the end game about this. But Pakistan at the moment, yes, you see, this front is not easier. That's this western border. To tame Afghanistan is not easier in that context unless Afghanistan agrees. Otherwise, things are difficult. Although you see, Pakistan already committed to board piece of board of Donald Trump, and Pakistan's troops may go to Gaza, that of part of international stabilization force. So would be difficult for Pakistan once Pakistan engaged with Afghanistan and sending its troop over there. So maybe this could be another thing coming out later. Pakistan withdrawing from this thing. We're not sending troops to Gaza, being part uh,
Yeah,
to be
yeah,
part of that
because
international stabilization
and
force.
interesting that you bring up Trump because you are Pakistan is committing troops. There is no money to feed Pakistani people, and you as a journalist in that country, uh, there are better things that Pakistan needs to do rather than engage in A, sending terrorists across the border to India, B, harboring terrorists, C, having terror hubs within the country. We've seen that in Operation Sindoor. India, attacked these terrorist hubs, but Pakistan military escalated and they got back. And sort of tried to make it a bigger regional war, which they eventually had to ask for a ceasefire and backtrack. And as a journalist in that country, I just want to ask you, don't you think money would be better utilized by the Pakistani authorities for feeding its own people?
Ideally, it is so. What you're saying, ideally, it is so. But ground reality is different, and this thing is that is good Taliban, bad Taliban, good terrorist, bad terrorist. This term's been hearing long time, and it's been being employed here. So I think, of course, it's a time to move forward from this thing and shun all. I mean, you go straight against all form of terrorist or terrorism and
I
make this one policy. That would be good for the country at the end of the day.
I'll just and I see that Ambassador Dayal is still with us. Thank you, sir, for staying back. But your screen is completely gone black, so I'm going to have a separate conversation with you in a better environment because this is not sort of working out for us. But any last thoughts, Ambassador Dayal, if you would like to give, we'd love to hear from you, and then we're going to sort of wrap up.
If Pakistan goes ahead and escalates the conflict with Afghanistan, then internally there will be some problems because of the fact that the Afghans living inside Pakistan have close emotional ties with the Afghans living in Afghanistan. They are brothers. And if you attack the Afghans in Afghanistan, and there are large number of casualties, this will make the Afghans living within Pakistan even more angry than they already are. There is a war, in fact, going on, internal strife for breaking away from Pakistan and joining Afghanistan, and this will only escalate. So, this conflict between Afghanistan and Pakistan is something that may adversely affect Pakistan's own interests. Moreover, the Baluch Liberation Front will also increase its attacks, and the insurgency in Balochistan will go up. So things don't look good for Pakistan.
All right, sir. We'd love to speak to you again, preferably when we can see you also. And thank you, Mr. Tahir, for talking to us. We'd love to come back to you because these problems are not looking that these hostilities are going to die up soon. But it was great talking with you to hear a balanced voice coming out from Pakistan. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, viewers, for watching this broadcast. Stay tuned to the Times of India.